Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Magic and Miracles, where you learn how to be the magician of your life. My name is Anna, and I created Magic and Miracles with one purpose only: to help people of all walks of life all around the world achieve their manifestation goals and dreams. It's so important to keep on dreaming and to keep on achieving, thus rediscovering again and again the kind of divine godly power that you really hold within yourself. You're part human but mostly God, and that's what I really help people rediscover in my coaching. To access that timeline of the golden Buddha status is what I call the ultimate blueprint with which you came in here to live out your dreams and goals. You have to live those out. Otherwise, you're stuck on the timeline that you quite frankly don't belong on. And we're going to talk about today about narcissistic parents, a mother in particular, because I get those clients quite a bit, and how you perhaps today listening to this are stuck, in fact, on the wrong timeline because you bought into a lot of crap that your mother taught you or your father. Either way, in my coaching, I help people just rediscover themselves, but most importantly, process the mama drama panorama. We cover that mama drama panorama, as I refer to it, which basically means everything that you have gone through so far. I'm interested in everything, starting with your childhood, every single incident that shaped you, that shaped your belief system. No thing is too small. Then we process emotions, which is a really important process, and I believe is most effectively done in coaching because you have a guide who has done it themselves. All right, I've done my own deep dive 15 years ago. And then the last portion, but this is symbolic, and of course there's a lot more that goes into it. I teach you manifestation in a way that a child can understand it, as well as energy work that no coach on planet Earth teaches, which basically speeds up your manifestations. It's like manifestations on steroids, okay? Nothing short of it. And again, I've done my research. During the last 10 years of being a coach, nobody teaches it the way that I do. And that, again, a child can understand it, a child can do it. If you'd like to be in my coaching, first order of business is to book the 1 hour session first, simply to make sure with the right match that we are on the same page, that this is going to be a good investment for you, because I recommend 2 to 3 months in coaching with me, okay? If you really want to do the deep dive, if you really want to do things correctly, this is absolutely a must. Some people stay longer, but by that time, by the time the third month rolls around, I usually downgrade you to a lesser frequency package, because I start out with 3 times per week. Okay, the reason I do it in this intense manner is because I really want you to attack your old belief system head on, and not leave any kind of wiggle room for it to survive, as it were, after the coaching is over. You need to really shake it loose, question it, again, process the emotions, and let go forever of that timeline. Let go of those cycles, those never-ending fucking cycles. Whether that's SP, listen, SP is the tip of the iceberg. It's usually everything. Okay, it's the self-esteem, it's the living situation, it's the money you make or don't make, all right? But upon conclusion of that session, you need to book the signature coaching package. It needs to be done almost immediately, and the simple reason is because I can only hold so many people in my coaching to be able to do a good job, and this I pride myself in doing. So if you're not coming aboard, unfortunately, I have to take on somebody else. No hard feelings in that sense, but please come ready to rock and roll, okay? Now, there's a package on my website where you can book all 3 months altogether. You get quite a bit of discount. I believe it's like $900 of a discount from the regular pricing, as well as you can pay for that in installments. So you can book all 3 months and pay in installments. The links are all below. And if you have any questions before booking, you can email me directly. Also, I wanted to let everybody know I'm moving the live tomorrow, the members only live, to Saturday. I have quite a bit of things going on this week, so it's best that we do it on Saturday For the time being, all right, I'm not going to do lives on my channel. Again, being bombarded by haters, they're on their way out. It's the last hurrah. Not gonna miss ya. Really, really not. And I just want to preserve my channel also, but also wanted to share, the hard work that goes into these lives is extraordinary. I really give it my all. And I really wanted to combine kind of like a combination of elements of coaching as well as live, and give you guys an opportunity whilst my channel is still growing, to experience what it's like to be in one-on-one coaching. Yes, it's in a group. I prefer 5 people tops, but if you're interested in sampling my coaching in this way, as well as getting a lot of information on telepathy, the topic will remain the same, the extraordinary power of telepathy, then book it right away. Maybe it's even better that I moved it to Saturday because you have more time to book, but book it right away. So because it's only 5 people, this is better for me to be able to achieve results and feel like I've addressed everybody's situation. You can bring your questions. And again, we'll get advice that you can definitely, if you take action on it, okay, if you implement it in your world, you will succeed. And please don't forget to sign the coaching agreement after you book. For everything, you need the coaching agreement. You can print it off my website, sign it by hand, and send it back to me in an attachment. All right, so the topic of today is your narcissistic mother lied to you. And I promised for those of my subscribers, thank you very much for being here. But if you're new, big thumbs up and big subscribe and smash that bell button so you don't miss any notifications. I promised my subscribers that I'm going to record it last night, but I had a couple of slices of carrot cake and I was like, my only destination right now is bed. So here I am. It's like 5:40 in the morning in New York City, and maybe it's best this way. Divine timing, don't you? So I get a lot of clients in my coaching who have had narcissistic mothers in particular. Some once in a blue moon, I get somebody with a narcissistic father, but predominantly it's women in particular, sometimes men as well. But women in particular, and here's why, because I've shared my own story of growing up with a narcissistic mother, and the kind of challenges that came with, the kind of abuse I had to endure, and the kind of basically replications that they had in my own personal life, particularly with SPs. All right, so listen up, this is very important. There is a direct correlation between what your mother taught you and told you and your current fears and beliefs. I mean, that just goes without saying. And I don't really care how old you are, what you do for a living, how much money you're making and or not making, and this and that. If you're still struggling with your, in particular, romantic life, chances are you still have not processed that mama drama panorama. Okay, you're still residing in that dark, really nasty, yucky soup of that energy of your mother's conditioning. All right. The kind of fears, the kind of insecurities that this person really, first of all, having no business having children to begin with, but really instilled within you. Okay. And chances are, a big chance, that this programming right here is running your life right now, not just in SP department, but in every shape and form. Your confidence is not up to par. Again, you're not making the money. Even if you're making the money, because I've met people that are really successful, you're still really, like really insecure, and you have a ton of unprocessed anger. I bet my money on it. You're walking around angry, sometimes you snap, It used to be me in the past, like in particular in my 20s, when I, for shit sure, didn't know what I was, who I was, how to behave socially in that. Why do my emotions come up this way and not that way? Why can't I just relax? This is all to do with a narcissistic parent, all right? Because chances are your mother didn't nurture you, didn't mother you. Why? Because she had her own issues. And here's the funny part. In my example, okay, in my story, you'll hear me talk about my maternal grandmother, who was an absolute fucking saint. But a saint, I tell ya. This woman is miraculous, was miraculous, is miraculous. I know, and I've had confirmations throughout the years that she is on my spiritual team as my one of my guardian angels. And I'm so fucking happy that she is, because she was extraordinary, an extraordinary human being, the kindest, the sweetest, the most hardworking, never fucking complained, although her life was really hard. She lived in fucking Siberia amongst, like, I don't know, in a small village of, like, I don't know, 10 people max. Maybe even not even that, and her whole life she spent there, never traveled, never had the means to. They were really poor. I mean, if I was to come out and say, they were fucking poor. They grew their own vegetables, they had cows, that kind of situation, okay? It's not like in US, where people are fancy now, buying cows and highland cows and small cows. No, no, this was poverty, okay? This was fucking, they didn't have money at all right? So she didn't see the world, she didn't get to experience anything, and yet she was the most gracious, the most grateful person you'll ever meet. Always had a smile on her face, always had a compliment, always had a gift for me. I don't fucking know how, because they had no money, but somehow, some way, she was that way because she chose to. My mother, on the other hand, and parenthesis here, everybody else in the family, more or less, were the same. Like, my mother has a brother, very hardworking also, maybe a little bit of a temper, some here and there, like Russians do. True story. But not at all like my mother. Vindictive, vicious, malicious, always angry, always competitive, yucky, just absolute morbid of a person, masquerading for the social events. Those people in particular who don't know her yet, her charm is skin deep. She's a complete psychopath, as it were. And in psychology, some symptoms overlay, and in psychology they will tell you that a psychopath does not need approval from the outside world. A narcissist desperately does. So, listen, I don't know about that. Okay. My opinion personally is that a psychopath is just a really, really kind of like out of control narcissist. It's on the very end of the spectrum, because there is a spectrum, okay, in narcissists. There's a mild version of it. Like, let's face it, all of us once in a blue moon have narcissistic tendencies. Doesn't mean that you're a narcissist, but a narcissist, it could be on a spectrum, like all the way to the malignant psychopath, okay? A narcissist could also be like, I've changed narcissists in my personal life, where they were, let's just say they were very, very into themselves, very kind of cocky, that kind of situation, but harming nobody. Still narcissistic, still very self-centered, still very kind of, too much all about themselves, still feel like they're entitled to multi-date, and you know what I mean, that kind of situation. But not manipulative, okay? Not out to harm. What I'm talking about here is a very malignant narcissist, okay? One that wreaks havoc on your self-esteem. So not only your mother didn't nurture you because she was afraid, like my mother, I know now as an adult, and I've known for quite some time since taking my deep dive. And it came in waves. Listen, it took me quite a bit of time, because for an empath, it's really difficult to understand how a person could be this malicious, and my goal here is to really illustrate, like, you need to come to this realization that that's reality, that that your mother was malicious. She was there for herself only. The reason she didn't nurture you is because she was too busy occupying her mind with how she can take care of herself, how she can do things for herself. Okay, my mother, after the divorce from my father, who was a pushover, which is how he manifested her, I'm convinced, total pushover, you can walk all over him. He's a teddy bear, he's a softie, he's a good person, I believe. But she, drove him out of the family. He escaped, like ran, okay, like literally ran with the other woman. I blamed him for a long, long time, to the point of not talking to him for 9 years whilst being in US. But then well, as I said, it came in waves, and I realized, oh shit, she literally drove him out of the fucking house, and then blamed him for cheating on her when she was nasty. She was the nastiest wife ever, never affectionate, because I don't know, she was too busy again figuring out how she can please herself. So after the divorce, the money that he would give her, because he would definitely support us, I mean, but she would spend it on herself. And the money that was left, it seemed like we were living in poverty. I'm telling you, like my teenagers, after coming back from Monaco, I mean, more about that later. I had to stay with my aunt. Not really had to, but it was a decision was made that I would go there, and I was really fucking happy. And trust me, my paternal aunt who lived in Monaco, who was absolutely nothing like my mother, really kind of easygoing, a little too easygoing in my opinion now, in my adult opinion, but whatever. She was not rigid, and she gave freely, very generous, blah, blah, blah. But when I came back, like when I was, I don't know, 16, the couple of years that I spent before I ran off to US at 17 years old, had nobody here, mind you. I was like, I don't fucking care. I'll figure it out. I don't want to live with this bitch, okay? She spent the money on herself, and it seemed like we lived in poverty because all the money went, I don't fucking know where, okay? To the point where I had to ask my dad, hey, I don't fucking know where the money is going. Can you send me some money? Because I need stuff, I need shoes, I need this, that, and the other, that kind of fucking crazy situation. So not only your mother didn't nurture you, and I'm sure, I know you listening, you have your own fucking story. I know that. I know that for a fact, because again, I have had so many examples in my coaching, in particular from women. Not only she didn't nurture you because she was too busy taking care of her own needs, okay, like really selfishly, really self-centered, really egotistical, without any remorse, mind you, okay, but what's worse, brought you down, taught you to doubt yourself, abused you emotionally by telling lies about you. Oh, that's my favorite. Especially like my sister and I have a sister who's now completely brainwashed by her, but brainwashed. Like it's a different person. It's such a shame. But such a shame, I tell you. Such a sweet little girl she was. We had so much fun, and she was so. Oh, we had the best time. I believe she had the best sense of humor, until my mother stepped in and of course ruined all of that. And of course, I mean, I left for US and my sister stayed behind, so that was another reason. But still, okay, if the narcissistic mother sees you as a potential, like a competition potential, even if it's your mother, oh, they will hate you. They will hate your fucking guts, okay, and they will start telling lies about you because they feel the competition. They always into competition. What fucking competition? I'm your fucking daughter. Or what competition period in the world? Nobody's really competing with anybody. Everybody's just doing their thing. That we happen to be, let's just say, in the same field, that's one thing. But nobody ever really competes or should think that way in that form. But to them, they thrive off of it. Like, I'm competing with you. I need to be better. Like when my parents still were still together, and they would go to these dinner parties, with my father's friends and their wives, right? I specifically remember how my mother was like slaving herself in the kitchen. She was not a great cook. I can tell it now. Again, a lot of things, they come to you later on in life. As an adult, you start realizing she sucked as a cook. Why? There was no heart in it. I believe to be a good cook, you really need to want to cook, first of all. You really need to want to have children, okay, to raise them well, one. And you really need to want to, put in some love into cooking. That's how you're a great cook, not just for competition. When you're doing something without heart, without genuine intention of, I really want to please my husband, or I really want to please the guests, not out of fucking competition, your food's gonna suck. And her food sucked. It was half-assed. There was no soul in it. You understand what I'm saying? You know when you cook something with heart and with soul. So she would go to these parties and bring her shit, and bring her food. Sorry. Should never talk about food like that. And, she would bring the food that she cooked. And I caught her talking to my dad. And it was so embarrassing because she thought that the other couple couldn't hear her. They were in the next room, whatever, taking off their something, doing something, I don't know. And she was in the dining room setting up in their house, mind you, in the couple's house. Okay. Couldn't make this shit up, even if I wanted to. And she kind of like put the finger into this woman's food, whose house it was, okay, and tasted it. Now, first of all, who the fuck puts a finger in the food? Like, that's so trashy. But she put the finger in the food and licked it and looked at my father and went, mine is better, right? Like, just like that, not even whispering. The woman heard her and she had to pretend that she fucking didn't. And she walked into the room, and my mother, of course, pretended to be embarrassed. But, you see what I'm saying? All the time seeking for fucking validation, all right? All the time trying to compete, all the time trying to be the best and this and that to do. Look at me, like so disgusting, really, like gross. Not doing it because you love to do it, but doing it for competition and to stand out somehow, to get some kind of a fucking approval. It's gross. But let's go back to how she affected you, okay? So telling lies about you. Again, if they see any competition, they lose their motherfucking shit. I remember precisely, this is going to be a long audio because it's going to be advice intertwined with my own stories, okay, of which I have quite a few, as you may have noticed. Okay, I remember coming back from Monaco. I remember one summer, the first summer when I came home, I would do my schooling there, etc., etc. My sister stayed behind because, again, my mother wanted to be in control, and not every, not all the children, not every, sorry, not both daughters, every child. It was only two of us. Not both of them go to school. She wanted to be in control. She just wanted to, leave my sister as a hostage. So she remains important after the divorce. But, she still wasn't. Nobody gave a shit about her because she just drove the marriage into the ground. I mean, that's what basically happened. But basically, I came back one summer. The first summer I came back, I spent like 3 years in Monaco, between Paris and Monaco, but mostly Monaco. Came back and I looked different. I had, a different haircut, different hair color. All right. I dyed my hair. It was reddish. Like my natural hair color is kind of like blondish, ashish blonde. And I've been dyeing it for so long. It's auburn red now kind of situation. And so for the first time, she saw me different. But the way that she looked at me, and I had, the tan from the beach and all of this, different clothes that my aunt gave me very generously again. And she saw me as another woman. I'll never forget how she looked at me. I'll never fucking forget it. She looked at me as a competition. She didn't hug me. She didn't cry, oh, my baby's home and this and that. No, nothing like that. She never hugged me, period. Let's start with that. Never said I love you. But she had such a weird ass reaction about the way I looked like as a competition, like examining me head to toe. Oh, what's this? And where did you get this? And what's the designer of these clothes? Jealousy. And I mean, but envy, envy is worse than jealousy. Envy is when you want to destroy somebody. It's the sickest shit that anybody can feel, let alone a mother. So telling lies about you, and my mother told a bunch of lies about me. I mean, sick lies, like really distorted lies, uninherited me. Not that my family, again, is super wealthy, but it matters, right? So she forged my signature, uninherited me several years ago, whatever, I don't fucking care, told lies about me to my sister. My sister isn't speaking to me till this day. How you like me now? There's a lot of shit like that. So chances are you have the same situation, making snide remarks. Narcissists are known for that. It will seem like it's, a compliment, but they will sneak something in there that will, with purpose to destroy your confidence. Oh, look at how this is fitting you. Well, I wouldn't have done it like that, or something like that. You know what I mean? Or with the guise of complimenting you, but sneaking in a little doubt there. All right, to insert doubt into your confidence, for you to start doubting yourself. This is because they're jealous. They just are kind of like burning with jealousy, like every minute of the hour. But understand, this person is mentally ill, completely mentally ill, top to bottom. They have nothing good in their heart. They're pretending to be this short lived facade that they have, skin deep charm that is so stale. It feels so fake. It feels so cold. Okay. They are miserable people who refuse, absolutely refuse to look at themselves within and fix their own issues. And so they're going around damaging people, their own children. So snide remarks, inserting deep insecurities in you. And what's even worse, being upset when you were genuinely happy, when there's something good happened in your life, when there's an achievement, never celebrating your successes, but in fact taking credit for them. My mother did this all the time. Oh, you have this figure from me. No, I don't. I actually took after my grandmother. Thank goodness. Physically, in every way. I look more like her brother, my uncle, than my mother ever, or my father for that matter. Somehow it turned out that way. I even have the color of the eyes of my uncle, somehow, again. I don't know how it works. My body is more or less exactly like something between my uncle and my grandma. But she'll take credit for that. She took credit for my designs. Oh yeah, you got this gift from me. No, I didn't. You never taught me anything. I taught myself. Yes, all right. You taught me how to thread the machine, but that was the end of it. Okay, I have this gift from God. Taking credit for everything, never celebrating you, never being happy for you. And this, my darlings, has very much a correlation for you today, where when somebody is getting upset, when you're genuinely happy, when somebody is upset that you're doing something for your life and is making snide remarks, makes you doubt yourself, makes you sabotage your own kind of situation, you're doing it today. This figure of authority in your mind, because this used to be an authority for you, your mother. Okay, you're still afraid that somebody will mind if you succeed, if you get your way. This is a really strong point I wanted to make. It's so subconscious at this point, and I've noticed this within my clients, that they don't allow themselves. It's kind of like the barricade is there of the fucking mother, okay, that says, I will mind very fucking much. I will be very upset if you do better than me. When in fact, the parent should encourage their children to do better than them. That's the healthy fucking minded mother. But I'm telling you right now, if you subconsciously, it feels like there's a barricade and you can't get past it, it's because you're not allowing yourself to step over that fucking barricade and say, fuck you, bitch. It's enough. You're stopping nothing for me. You cannot fucking stop me. Because by now, this voice, right, it's no longer your mother's. It took the shape of fears and insecurities that she inserted in you. And so it's so subdued in your subconscious mind that it's a reflex. Okay, it's no longer like, you understand, it's no longer a decision that you're making. It's totally automatic, like on an automatic pilot. So now you're stuck in this mentality, not offering yourself good experiences, just to be a good girl, just to be a good boy. How sick is that? Not to say that you're sick, but this mentality that she passed along to you, or he, as in your father, passed along to you, is fucking sick. That's mental illness. Rebuke and reject that mentality once and for all, thought by thought, idea by idea, fear by fear, insecurity by insecurity. Start fucking questioning your life, darling. Fortunately for me, I had a glimpse when I was 11. Again, I started living in Monaco with my aunt and I saw a different world. And At that point, the crack began for me. I was like, no, this is the real world. My mother is fucking crazy. Okay. She is the crazy one, not me. Okay. And I mean, it was just obvious to me, even as a child, okay, that something is terribly wrong with my mother. I didn't have the words for it. I didn't know what mental illness was. Certainly didn't know what narcissism was. But I had a breath of fresh air for those 3 years, maybe 3.5. Then I went back to Italy. All this jazz happened, as long as I wasn't around her, okay? I begged my father, please take me to Italy with you, because back then my father traveled for work and this and that. You may have never had this opportunity. Okay. And again, when I was 17, it was my mission to come to US to get the fuck away from her. Maybe you never had this opportunity. I have clients who still live with their mothers. And she's still fucking bombarding you, still seemingly has the upper hand of your mood, your decisions, what you do, what you don't do, what you think about yourself. That's terrible. You need to start disconnecting from that shit. Rebuke and reject that mentality once and for all, I tell you. This is what wreaks havoc on your personal life, on your mood, on your money, on every fucking thing. This is a vampire, you understand? This is a black hole that you will never fill. There's not enough things that you can do for a narcissist for them to feel better, simply because just like for a person who can't do something for themselves, you cannot do enough things for them to be happy and complete. They have to do it on their own. It's not your fucking problem, is my point. So fuck you, bitch. It's your fucking problem. Go deal with your mental fucking issues in a mental fucking hospital and leave me the fuck be kind of situation. This has nothing to do with me. Like, what have I to do with thee? Other than you pop me out. Listen, to be a parent, it takes a lot more than popping out a child. That's not being a parent. That's just, I don't know, it was convenient for you to have a child and pretend to be a mother because you happen to be in a marriage, all right? Because you wanted to come out of, a situation that wasn't pleasing maybe at home. For a lot of people, it's that. Narcissists, they're very kind of like manipulative, very strategic. They don't do anything without kind of like thinking, oh, I'm going to do this next, and not out of love, again, not out of soul, but very calculating. Okay, everything is a calculation. So even having you was a fucking calculation just to look good in public, perhaps. Just to say, oh, look, my daughter, you know what I mean? Oh, look, my son, or whatever it happened. Well, that's it, daughter or son. There's nothing else. Sorry. Anyway. So right now, what's happening is that this voice inside of you, again, so subdued, so automatic by now, but you can witness this voice, nevertheless, if you take the time. And I hope that you do, whether in coaching or on your own. Just write out all the shit that you're thinking about yourself. This is a projection of your fucking mother's statements, of pronouncements, the shit that they used to tell you, all right? That voice in your head still says that being happy is somehow forbidden and taboo. I guarantee, I put my money on it because I've been there. And this is how you push away happiness from you. And anything that remotely happy or safe or comfortable or good feels foreign to you, feels unsafe to you. Okay? Anything that makes you happy, anything that is a victory for you, anything that you get in your way, like my mother's favorite expression, oh, don't you know how to get your way? And that's a problem because because I work hard, I'm a good person. Yeah, I ought to get my way. Duh. Why is that such a problem? And she would have snide remarks like that all across the board about anything that would make me happy. So you would naturally then absorb this idea that being happy is taboo. Being happy is frowned upon. How fucked up is this shit, ladies and gentlemen? It's fucked up, fucked up, fucked up, fucked up. You need to shut the shit down. You need to shut the bitch down. Okay, in your mind and in the 3D. If this person passed already, my condolences and all that jazz. I'm never going to speak, never going to say and make any jokes about that. But shut the mentality down. No. Say no, stand up for yourself, okay, in the 3D and say, I'm shutting you the fuck down. You don't rule my world. Stop pretending like you do. You crazy person. You can't even have a hold of your own emotions and your own mind. How the fuck can you pretend to rule on? First of all, how can you have influence over another person's life or anything by trying to control them with malice, lies, manipulation, and spite? That's fucking crazy. Again, mental illness. The fact that you feel like you need to control something or manipulate speaks volumes of the kind of crazy ass person that you really are. Okay? That you're not just walking around wishing people well and supporting your own children or supporting your friends or supporting whomever. My mother, oh, holy shit, bananas. And I know this will hit home for a lot of people, which is why I'm making this extra long. I would imagine till this day has these friends who put up with her abuse. They're very lovely people, but they're very, they don't have a backbone kind of situation. And they've been friends, like it's a couple, and they have children and all of that, and grown children by now. But this couple, they were friends with my parents. And then when my parents divorced, my mother kind of became, this woman, this bitter woman that would complain about my father to them. But behind their back, when she was home, like she would go visit them or they would come over, have dinner with us, etc., or coffee or something. When they would leave, she would say such nasty things about them behind their back. I couldn't believe it. I was like, how can you say these things? And about her relatives, those that she would be jealous of, anything that anybody had on her, in her mind, in her opinion, anything good that somebody had, whether that's money or just kindness, a good, character trait or whatever, anything on her, anything good, she would despise and she would say nasty things about. Again, sick. And you, my darling love, chances are, listen, nothing happens by chance, okay? Because the greater the challenges, okay, the greater your potential. In other words, actually, let me flip this over. The greater your potential, the greater the challenges. And so you chose this fucking mother or father when you were coming in because you knew who you were going to be. You were going to be this empath, the light of the world, spiritually gifted, talented, mesmerizing person, okay? That I hope you discover, if you haven't already, that you really are, okay? This is why this mother of yours had such a fucking conniption every single time something went your way, okay? Because your mother saw it in you before you saw it for yourself. They saw how fucking wonderful you are. They saw how much potential you have. They saw how talented, they saw how freaking amazing you are. What an empath, what a kind person, what an everything you are. And you over here thinking you're a piece of shit. Now, how does that work? Okay, flip the shit upside down today. Start writing down things you think about yourself, secretly, not so fucking secretly, and start questioning everything. This is a projection of my mother. This has absolutely nothing to do with me. That's her shit, not my shit. Give people back their bullshit, as I always say and used to say on my predecessor channel, by the way. Link is below. Completely forgot to mention it in the beginning. Give her back her bullshit. That's for her to deal with. You belong living an amazing and successful life. Nothing short of it. This garbage is not yours. It's not yours. It's never been yours. These thoughts, these fucking projections, they're not yours. This is not who you are. You are the golden Buddha. You are this mesmerizing person, may I tell you. She knew that. Or he knew that. And this is why the fucking attacks. Because my sister, the brainwashed little kind of penguin that she is, I don't know why I said penguin. Yes, mom. Yes, mom. She's her toy. Okay? She doesn't have a fucking life. She never had a successful relationship. She didn't give her the chance to. She is absolutely, she doesn't have anything in her life going for herself, because everything that she tried to do in her life that would be for her, for my sister, okay, meaning my sister doing things for herself that are really good, she sabotaged the shit out of it, making her think that this is for her own good. Now, again, how fucked up is that? Let me take the shit away from you. Let me sabotage the shit out of this situation for you so that I don't feel bad that you have something that I never did. Oh my God. Crazy. Crazy is the understatement of the century. Rebuke and reject. Start shutting it down. I know it's difficult for an empath, for a very benevolent person to start standing up for yourself. It was hard for me too. I gotta say, it was hard for me. It was nerve wracking. But I learned that so hardcore many years ago. I mean, I started learning it when listen, when I came to New York, I started standing up for myself, all right? There was no other fucking way, okay? New York teaches you to be tough as nails, all right? I mean, it's just the name of the game over here. But really, 15 years ago, when I took my deep dive, I realized, shit, I've been a pushover my whole fucking life. But my whole fucking life, I tell ya. How did that work out? Not so great at all. Chose the same fucking narcissist in my personal relationships that abused me galore. Because that felt familiar, that felt like safety, okay? That felt like what I was supposed to do because I was a pushover, never standing up for myself, never claiming my right to be fucking happy. Okay, start standing up to them in your mind and in the 3D. Okay, bitch, you're fired. Bitch, you're done. That's it. You're fired out of my mind. You're done sabotaging shit for me. If they're still living, okay, you're done talking to me like, thank you for your opinion. Nobody gives a shit about your stupid shit opinion because it's toxic. You're toxic. You're full of shit is what you are. You need mental help. Okay, mental health professional, like 24 fucking 7. And if you talk like that to them, all you need is the truth to destroy them. They're so fragile inside because they, again, refuse to look at themselves inside, at all the demons that they have going on inside. Why? I don't know. They say narcissists are really born. I think it's true. I think it's true. I think it's at some point you make a fucking decision how you're going to interact with the world. Okay? Are you going to be a bitch or are you going to be a kind-hearted person? And go with the flow and be flexible, forgiving, and interact with people with kindness, okay, and generosity. All you have to do is speak the truth to destroy them. Start speaking the truth. No, that's not true. No, you're lying. No, I'm doing what I want to do. Yes, I'm going to be victorious. They're going to lose their shit. And let them. What problem is it of yours? Let them lose their motherfucking shit till the end of motherfucking time. Go get help. You need it badly, like yesterday, the day before fucking yesterday, since you were born, perhaps. Probably, something happens and the soul comes in with a kind of mission, okay, to wreak havoc on happy people. I don't know how it happens, but somehow I'm telling you, my mother's brother turned out completely different. Everybody in the family is completely different, diametrically opposed. She's the only one who's cuckoo land, okay? Confront them with the truth and they will run like demons from the holy water. They don't want to look at themselves. They want to live in denial forever. But that's not your fucking problem. You're going to get your way. And that's the healthy way to go. You're going to get your man or woman. You're going to get your victory. You're going to get that job. You're going to get that money. You're going to get that prosperity. You're going to get that recognition. Rightfully so, because you worked your fucking ass off. I deal with a lot of people who fucking geniuses, mind you, but geniuses in their field, all right? And downplay themselves or don't take action or are afraid or insecure because of this fucking bullshit. Pisses me the fuck off because I see myself in them and I see the struggles that they're going through because they're undermined by nothing else but their fucking mentality. That mother still talks to them in their mind and affects your decision making. Don't fucking let it. You deserve all these good things. And nobody, if she minds, let that be her fucking issue. If that voice minds, they're fired. They're no longer in control of your life. You are. You fucking are in control. Stand up for your shit and live your happy life. At first, it will be very uncomfortable. I agree. I have experienced it. This is why I'm here. And I'm telling you this, guys. Okay, it will be so fucking uncomfortable. You will almost feel in danger. But I'm telling you. Because every time something went my way, there would be some kind of a scandal at home. Some kind of a fight out of nothing. Out of nothing, obviously. Because she was unhappy that I got my way. Whoop-de-fucking-do, boo-fucking-who, you know what I mean? But rightfully so. Earned it with hard work, with precision, with showing up, with kindness, with generosity, with being, nothing else but a good person in the world, all right? You deserve that shit. You deserve that shit like yesterday. Stop robbing yourself for this mentally ill person, whether in 3D or still in your head, to be fucking satisfied. They never fucking will be. They never fucking will be. Don't attempt. Leave that shit behind. Live your life to the motherfucking fullest. At first, it will be uncomfortable. You'll get used to it. Eventually, the new normal will be so comfortable for you that you'll look back, you'll be like, oh my God, I can't believe I spent all these years like worrying about what this mentally ill person said. Ever. This is the real me. This is what I really deserve. I'll never forget this when I was, I don't know, like 22, 23, and I was modeling, in New York, and really just not knowing who I was and what I was, it was very difficult on top of, having to survive in New York City and this and that. And I was friends with this really well-known photographer. I'm not gonna name him, but he's very well-known. He's photographed the Kennedys and all sorts of celebrities, and not the celebrities like fucking Kardashians. No, I don't I don't consider that being a celebrity. Like people who had actually done shit. You know what I mean? Not just kind of showed up with a sex tape, gross, and then pretended it was by accident. Okay, sweetheart, sit down, calm down, drink some chamomile. And we were hanging out at this really cool, I forget what, I think Gramercy Hotel, really posh place. And he was so wise and just so generous with me in every way. And no, we did not have a relationship, but he was just kind of like a fatherly figure for me kind of situation. And I'll never forget this as long as I live. He told me something that I, at that moment, did not understand at all. But I understood it years later, especially when I started taking my deep dive 15 years ago. He said, everybody already sees who you are, but you don't know who you are. So don't be surprised when they're going to start taking advantage, or try at least to take advantage of you. And I was like, what? What is he talking about? I'm nothing special. I'm thinking to myself, I'm just this little person over here trying to make ends meet, trying to model, trying to do this and the other. But somehow he was trying to inspire me to see beyond the modeling, beyond all this crap, even though he was a photographer. But again, he was photographing such amazing people, not just pretty people, but people with substance, people who have done that amazing things in life, and for other people, again, that he saw something in me that I back then did not see, and he was trying to inspire me. And it was so amazing to look back at that moment. And I'm telling you now, you don't know who you are, but other people already do. I do. When you come into coaching with me, I see you. I see you in all your glory. That light, oh man, I'm gonna get emotional. It just shines right through you, through your eyes. It's your aura. Don't take that for granted, and don't be surprised that if you don't value yourself, okay, that other people will try to take advantage of you. This is how important it is to stand up for yourself, to stand up for your happiness, to stand up for your choices in life, your real, authentic choices now. To stand up for your right to be happy, to stand up for being exactly who you were meant to be, loved and adored, getting your victories, getting your money, getting your man or a woman, getting your recognition, rightfully so, because you fucking earned it. Again, most of you have worked for years, if not decades, on shit that you have not been recognized for yet. come out of this darkness and start valuing yourself. Start really appreciating yourself. Start really recognizing what a fucking superstar you really are. You're not this little person. You are amazing. You are completely mind-blowingly amazing. And the fact that you don't know it is the reason why you're having all these issues. And yes, in particular with, again, SPs. It used to be me, one fucking narcissist after another in my personal life. And now I know all about these fucking narcissists, and I'm here, to tell you. And now, as soon as I see a narcissist, I know exactly how to deal with them. I know exactly how to win this game. Because you're not going to play that fucking game. That sick as, morbid, shitty, completely bogus game. No, that's for mental illness, mentally ill people. You can play that game all day long. Go for it, 24/7, as you do. I'm going to preserve my one of a kindness. I'm going to preserve my golden Buddha status. I'm going to preserve my high vibes. I'm going to preserve my knowledge of who the fuck I really am. That's what the fuck I'm going to do. I'm speaking for you and for myself as well. That's exactly what needs to happen for you to start revolutionizing your life. But top to bottom, I tell you, every single choice, start questioning, why am I doing it? Why am I thinking it? Why am I not doing it? Why am I thinking this about me? Why this choice? Why not the best? Oh, because somebody will mind? Well, fuck them. Fuck them up the ass, I'm telling you, okay? It's your life. You ought to live it to the fucking fullest. To the motherfucking fullest, I tell you. Okay? Really being authentically, truly who you fucking are. Nothing short of it. I understand that growing up with a narcissistic mother comes with a lot of repercussions. When you can't possibly rely or trust your own mother, your own parent, right? The authority figure, somebody who is supposed to nurture you again and take care of you and mother you, parent you, be there for you, okay? Trusting the universe at large later on in life becomes an issue, okay? You can't. You always expect some kind of danger to come out of the woodwork, some kind of way. So much so you're manifesting these issues for yourself right now. All right. Now, listen, challenges will come in life. It's not that. But even the challenges that naturally would come, they intimidate you rather than saying, okay, I can do this. I can handle it. No problem. I'm not intimidated by it. I'm not intimidated by, even if you meet a narcissist. But listen, once you process this situation right now, what I'm discussing, you'll never have another narcissist in your personal life. This I can put my money on. That you'll meet another narcissist, let's just say in a work environment or some kind of other shape or form that has very little to do with your personal life. Sure, but you will know how to deal with that fucker. You will know how to stand up. You will not be intimidated, but not even one iota. Darling, you'll be like, bitch, come over here. Yeah, I know exactly how to handle this situation. Yeah, you think you have me figured. They always think they're so smart, narcissists. They always, grandiose galore. Please sit down, calm down, drink some chamomile tea again. They always think they're smarter than everybody. That's the stupidest thing to think. The person who is the stupidest always thinks they're smarter than everybody else, and that's a fucking narcissist. People have them figured out. Like, listen, especially like myself, if you have met narcissists in your life, you can figure them out a mile away. And the smartest thing is to not let the narcissist know that you have figured them out already 5 minutes into conversation or something like that, very short into the interaction. Don't let them know and just take notes and then act accordingly. That's the smartest, strategy with a narcissist. Just don't descend to their shitty, bogus, disgusting game. That's for them to play. They're going to get their karma. Everything's going to backfire. You just don't step into that cesspool of their, I see them like, I see their energy like totally like dark, brown, like greens with snakes and spiders and some kind of like really yucky water, like a swamp, like a really smelly swamp, that kind of fucking energy that's coming off of them. Let them cook in that fucking energy all their life. You belong up here, flying above with angels, creating magnificent shit. That's none of your fucking business that they choose to behave this way. So I understand the challenge of not being able to relax, not being able to trust the universe. But this is again what you need to reconnect. This is the reconnection that needs to happen for you with the universe now at large, because again, you can't relax, you can't trust the universe that everything's now going to be okay. It feels dangerous. Again, it doesn't feel safe. It's very challenging. And this is why you're reproducing things. This is why you're creating challenges for yourself with your specific person, again, with your money, with your whatever. Okay. It's challenging for you to not have to worry. Like you almost like it's automatic by now, it's biological on a cellular level. You've already downloaded this program. Like, I have to worry. I have to watch out for danger. True story. That's trauma talking. You have to disconnect, like literally biologically, on a cellular level, disconnect from this shit. It isn't yours, darling. It's not yours. Underneath it all, like I said, you're a motherfucking superstar for the books. This is why they chose to pick on you. Like I said, my mother doesn't pick on my sister. She has no fucking will of her own. She's a pushover. A pushover is an understatement of the century. Okay, a pushover would be a fucking compliment, actually, because she just doesn't have her own opinion. But the minute somebody does, the minute somebody stands up and starts being themselves, starts being authentic, starts, going after their passions and their dreams, ooh, it becomes a threat. It becomes a big, big fucking threat to their ego, to their fragile fucking childlike 3-year-old ego that got stunted in the progress, never developed because, again, no self-reflection, refusal to see their demons inside, all right? Listen, we've all had demons inside. I think the fundamental difference between the narcissist, let's just say an empath, okay, who went through shit, and a narcissist is an empath is very much willing to look at themselves and confront their demons and learn from that shit and grow from that shit. And narcissist thinks that they're already perfect. Okay. Oh my God. All the while being fucking miserable inside, but miserable, I tell you. Nothing you can do in the fucking motherfucking world for them to be happy. That's a crazy person. That's mental illness once again. How can you be this fucking vicious? How can you be this fucking destructive? How can you be this malicious? How can you be this evil? That's craziness. And so I'm going to close with this very long audio. Lucky you guys. And go re-listen a couple of times. It'll sink in even better, as I'm sure you guys do. The greater your potential, the greater the challenges. Perhaps this is one of your fundamental challenges that you came to conquer in this earthly experience. Is your mother or your father this kind of situation? And I promise you that once you process this, once you deal with this, once you are no longer attached to this situation, your life will skyrocket. Nothing short of it. It will revolutionize your life. I'm getting teary-eyed just thinking about it, the kind of potential that it holds for you. Really, truly, genuinely. Recognize that, okay? Recognize that right now you're sitting on potential that you may not even realize how big it is. You just don't. I'm not saying this just to compliment you, just to flatter you. I know this from my personal experience and from the experiences with my clients. Something magical happens. The true genius, the true genie comes out. The true golden Buddha comes out and start living their life so freely. And if you part with that fear of, somebody will mind, or it's not safe, or I don't trust, yeah, incrementally you will part with it. Okay, you will. You absolutely will. And your life will transform unrecognizably, I tell you. You're far stronger and more exceptional than you realize. You're far more special, far more gifted, far more amazing, far more talented, far more destined for greatness than you'll ever realize right now. But you can start. All right. Thank you very much for listening. All the information from me again is below. Until next time. Ciao, ciao.